Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Campaign 9, Week 4, Day 7. So today we're going to be messing around with, of course, going over all the spoilers for the week and seeing if we can get some more progress on this Mimic. Of course, yesterday, unfortunately, we did not end up getting it. Was one of our goals. Obviously, very unlikely that it would happen, but we tried it. We did get a 5x chest yesterday. Didn't actually happen. But anyways, still on the hunt for it, so at some point we'll get it, but you never know. It's only a matter of time. But anyways, let's make sure this other thing's working right. Looks like it is. Alright, anyways. So, where are we? Okay, so, let's go over the spoilers real quick. Start with that. Start from the top. Let's see. I should probably go to the website first. Let's see. Let's go to the official one first. See what posts they have on it. So, let's go to latest news. Head over to the Web of Lies. I wonder how many jokes people are making in the comment section of that thread on the forum. Anyways, Web of Lies. This is the mech spider that we kind of saw earlier. It's 11 mana cost, green, red. It chooses a gem and it creates 3 bomb gems. Then destroys the gems row and column. So basically a plus-shaped destroy at the targeted location while creating 3 bomb gems. It's okay. Nothing really too special there. There are other troops that could do this while doing damage and other similar things, which is much better value. His traits also aren't anything special. And the fact that it's a mech beast is a little bit weird because mech nor beast is something that is really used in Zolcarry. Obviously, it's quite a bit of a spider-related location. And while beasts are somewhat common there, elf is definitely the main mechanic that exists there. And having a mech beast doesn't really do too much. I'm also curious to know if they will actually count as spider. There's a weird mechanic in the game where I believe one thing requires a call on it, where it has a random chance to summon a random spider. Or not random chance, but 100% chance to summon a random spider. And this thing is very much a spider. I wonder if it counts as one. Maybe not because it's a mech. That'd be funny if they lay a mech egg, but you never know. But it's one of those invisible typings within the game, the spider typing. So I'm not sure if it's actually under that typing, though it's not too relevant if it is or isn't. It'll be available for 300 glory, so pretty standard glory trip. Be able to stock up on red, green, arcanes for 300 each. As far as the event, I believe it's straightforward. Let's hope it is. That's always better when the weeks are like that. Seems just don't do giant spider. Blah, 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 blah. These battles are randomly chosen. Scoring. Yeah, it's a nice straightforward one. Yep, all you have to do is just take rarity order and don't take giant spider. Nice. Yeah, it's just a nice standard rarity order. Don't take giant spider and you'll be good. That's all you have to do. Okay, really easy ward event for that. Very nice. Anyways, as far as some other things that we got going on this week, most notably, we got a vault event this weekend. That I already know. That will be on the 29th. But other things that we have going on this week, we do have Guild Wars. Guild Wars will be starting on... wait, wasn't I mentioning it here? There it is. I was going to say, Guild Wars should be happening. Yeah, Guild Wars is going to be occurring all next week, so that starts on Tuesday, technically. It says Monday here, but, you know, Monday's just like the prep day, so technically it's Tuesday as far as when it starts. We do have the faction event, of course, for the Zolcarry faction, which is the, gosh, I always forget the name. Eldrazor. I never pronounce that thing. The Elcalazor. Yeah, Eldrazor. Eldrazor. That's kind of correct. Somewhere's around there. But yeah, the Zolcarry faction, the Eldrazor. As far as Wednesday, we'll be getting the pet for... is this a new one? No, this is a spider. Oh, I thought we were getting a new spider. No, we're just getting an old spider. The spider's for just Zolcarry bonus. This one actually took a while before it rolled back around, or rolled into the game to begin with. I believe it's one of the last kingdom bonuses to actually come into the game, oddly enough. Even though it was one of the, you know, classes, or one of the kingdoms that have existed for forever. Class, we have for Thursday, of course, the Orb Weaver Hero class. A really good one at that as well. Orb Weaver is pretty potent. Vault event, as I mentioned, this weekend. And most notably, though, this isn't until next week. Journey event? Question mark. Apparently, we're getting a journey event for Golvania on May 2nd. Which is kind of funny because that's also my mom's birthday. So be busy with that at some point on that day, though that shouldn't get in the way of our stream, I'm pretty sure at all. Though maybe if I'm still taking her out for dinner, that could maybe bump it like half an hour, I'm not sure. But realistically, we'll probably be starting on time. And when we do, we'll be doing the second ever Journey events, which is specifically for Corsigovania. Journey events are an event that has only ever happened one other time, back in early December, I believe it was. So yeah, we've only ever had one ever. The most noteworthy thing about it, so it's been like 5 months since we had one. The most noteworthy thing about it is an achievement is based on it, particularly the achievement of, oh yeah, I can't see it from here, can we? But, well, we don't need this anymore, might as well X out of it. But the achievement of, get, this thing. So we have to do 20,000 points in Journey. I'm not sure if it rolls over or not. As you can see here, it already shows we have 10,000 something points. I'm not sure if the points will keep accumulating. Like if I start the next one, we get 1,000. We'll say like almost 12,000 here, or we'll start from all the way down to 1,000. We don't know that yet. We'll find out in a week from now, or, you know, on May 2nd. We'll find out what on earth ends up happening there. But yeah, it is one of the achievements. So if you haven't already gotten it, which based on statistics is exceedingly likely due to the percent number that it actually says, it would be advised to consider doing it. If you have the gems, it might cost a few thousand gems though. However, yeah, if you haven't already done it, it is the second most obtained achievement by such a margin that the only one that has been obtained less is the Lord of the Horde, which of course is the thing we've been trying for like a month now and still haven't gotten the Horde Mimic, which is kind of interesting too, because if you look at it, 0.6% of people have gotten the Mimic, which means we're almost to the point where more people have found 3 of the Mimics. Not the 5 times, but specifically, you know, the normal 2 times Mimic, like the number that we have 56 of. More people have found that 3 times than people with 50,000 renown, which I find kind of surprising, because that's going to overtake it like any moment now. It's kind of weird that I actually like that. But yeah, this one will be shooting up like crazy next week, or, you know, on May 2nd onwards that week. Because this one, I'm pretty sure a lot more people compared to last time will end up doing. Like, this might say 0.1% now, but it's going to say, like, 0.5 to 1% by the end of, by, like, May 2nd, or May 9th, I mean. But anyways, yeah, that's everything that we got going on next week. So it's mostly just a Guild War week with a Vault event weekend that is then followed by a Journey event on that following Monday. So not tomorrow Monday, but 1 week from tomorrow Monday. Anyways, was this flash offer anything good? No, it wasn't. Offers anything good? Nope. Okay, let's go clear out, well, let's just actually start, well, we finished all the events this week, right? Because, there's 2 main ones right now, of course, the reward event, standard reward events, and of course, Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter we ended up doing, on Friday night. So last I recall, we are actually completely done. We ended up getting that little, owl troop thing. Anyways, there we go. Anyways, let's go and, start grinding. Because that's the only other thing we gotta do this week. Go get ourselves the Mimic. We tried yesterday for like 8.5 hours straight and did not leave for the Horde Mimic, unfortunately. But can't say we didn't try. Anyways, hello Isabel, hello NASA, hello Tyrion, hello Daniel, hello Sushi Ninja, hello Mr., hello Andrew, hello Bill Warhammer, hello Wyatt, hello Tyrion, hello Jonian, hello Isabel, hello Cookie, hello Logic Slayer, hello Lucien. Let's see, you got your first token of Nisha? Nice, congrats. The first of many. Hello Logic Slayer, hello John, hello Defiant, hello everyone else, welcome. If you were to buy tiers in Bounty Shop to get the Captain to Mythic, would you be able to use a weapon with the Captain? No. And 2 other Bounty Troops to get all rewards with all the sigils? Well, technically yes. I'm not sure what the exact margins come out to. Of course, 30 times multiplier is normally what I run with these days. However, the next best alternative is 24 times multiplier, which was done a lot back when stats weren't as high, and might still be more relevant if you're still have lower stats to begin with, where you can run with 1 option and then 3 bounties, 1 of them being the bounty captain and 2 of them just being standard bounty troops. So you can go down that route. You would either need a really good hero weapon, or one thing that was actually pretty popular back in the day was Yagwe. So Yagwe gains a lot of red mana, feeds back into himself, is pretty much a self-sufficient troop. So he was actually kind of popular to be used. He does cost you a 6 times multiplier, because every single less bounty troop you have is at minimum a 6 times less multiplier that you have. So at minimum, if you went 1 non-bounty, you'd be at 24 times instead of 30 times. But yes, it is still possible to finish Bounty Hunter that way. However, you definitely will need more sigils. The exact ratio of more sigils, I'm not 100% sure. However, you're definitely going to need at least tier 6, I know that, maybe even multiple tier 7. But even if you did a 24 times multiplier, pretty sure tier 6 across the entire weekend will barely make it, I think. I actually don't remember, it's been a while. Because lately, of course, we do tier 5 with 1 blue orb, and then just those battles alone is enough, but we do it with 30 times multiplier, which is 4 bounty troops, with one of them being the bounty captain, of course. Oh, you're not burned, are you? Oh, no. Is there any particular reason you are farming in Golvania? There's a few locations that can work. Sword's Edge and a few others are kind of useful for it. Main reason for Golvania is there's no immune to burning here. Well, actually, there's one immune to burning now, but there used to be no immune to burning. I just kind of do it out of habit. I think Sword's Edge is technically slightly better than this place. I just, like, still do Golvania, though. But it's mostly because Zugoff, this place doesn't have most of the more annoying mechanics, and are mostly looking for things that don't have a mean to burn, because Zugoff's main mechanic is burn everything, and our main way to win is triple damage burning off of hero. So we're mainly looking for somewheres where we don't have to really deal with burn immunity, or at least a very, very small amount, so we can focus our Zugoff on whatever the one might be that doesn't have, or that does have burn immunity. Yeah, I believe this place ends up getting one thing that has immune to burn, and it is one of the horses. I actually keep forgetting which. I normally just naturally hit whatever looks like a horse. I think it was... Well, it wasn't Corpse Mirror. Wait, what was the one that... I actually can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. It's one... Oh, it's Kelpie, I remember. It's that one that has that weird submerge. It's probably the most annoying thing in Golvania now. Not only because it's immune to burn, but it also is anti-submerge. I mean, anti-AoE. So if you ran, like, Rowan or something, it's also anti-that. Or Phoenicia or something similar. Question, you don't have Doomed Cauldron. Do you craft them or do you pass? Doomed Cauldron? Isn't that one of the HP ones? That one's pretty bad. I'd pass. Is that available this week? Yeah, that's a pretty bad weapon, last I recall. That's the one I think it is. That's that one purple weapon that gives a bunch of HP. It's a category of Doom weapon that is among one of the worst in the game. So I'd probably pass on it unless you just want it for completion's sake. Yeah, this one's useless. Doomed Cauldron. It gives a bunch of life to a bunch of allies. I do have it upgraded though, because at the time it was like the first one. I was like, oh, let me upgrade it immediately, and then I realized like, oh, I will never have enough to do that. This was pretty early on. I think this was actually the first HP one that we added, or the second one. I can't remember. But I did not mean to upgrade any. But yeah, it's a really, really bad weapon. It's pretty much tied as the worst Doom weapon. So I would highly advise not getting it. Unless you have so many resources where it wouldn't hurt you at all to get it, I would not get it. Like, it is one of the last, like, weapon types you should probably ever try getting. Unless you have such a surplus of crafting material that it won't dent your resources at all, that's, like, the only point where you should get it. Because it is never going to be used. It is just going to be, it's just going to be obtained for literally no purpose other than to own it. Like, that is the whole purpose of getting Cauldron. Or any of the HP buffing Doom weapons, for that matter. Is simply to own the weapon. And if you're looking to own weapons, you're, if you're lower on the resource, you might as well just grab like, and accumulate like the epic ones and, you know, like the lower rarity ones that don't cost as much to craft. Because when it comes to have X number of weapons for a kingdom upgrade, doesn't matter what rarity it is. Like an epic or a legendary one would count just the same as a doomed one. Do I have any more codes? I did ask her. I have not gotten a reply back yet. Though in all fairness, I also haven't checked Discord all day. I guess I could check it now. Hello, Discord. Any more codes? Any more juicy codes? Actually, while I'm here, I might as well like immediately message her. Hopefully this doesn't cause the stream to lag for a second, because I'm actually doing it on this computer. I know it likes to go crazy sometimes. Nope, it did not lag. Yay. Anyways, let me go message her again. I need to go try to message her on the forum or something. Hello, Kafka. Just say a reminder, still need codes, thanks. I'm gonna message her literally every day until I get one. I think that's the new strategy. Though I need to go try to find somewhere else where I can message her. Just to, like, nudge her. Nudge, nudge. Does she have a thing on the forum? I'm pretty sure she still checks the forum. I should probably go message her on the forum tonight. I'll do that after stream, though. So I took that down. But no, I only have one code left. And that one code will be handed out this stream. because we handed out 6 yesterday, and doing so made it so I am out of codes. Well, almost out of codes. I have 1 more left that we'll hand out in some point in the stream. Right after that, we are out of codes. Which means if we don't get more between now and tomorrow night's stream, we will have 0 codes left. You haven't played the game for a while. What's the red rarity? Oh, red rarity. Oh yeah, you definitely haven't played for a while. So red rarity is kind of a rarity above mythic. Not exactly. Things still only go up to mythic. However, there are a few troops that are kind of considered harder to obtain. Some of them actually harder to obtain. Some of them not really actually harder to obtain. But there's like 5 of them underneath the Doom rarity. And by 5, I mean 4. Because I'm trying to think of a 5th and I can't actually think of one. But yeah, there's not that many. It's a rarity that isn't really used much. There are weapons that are under it. So basically there's 2 categories of it, the weapons and the troops. Of the troops, 2 of them are actually hard to get, 2 of them are easy. The 2 that are easy to get are Hatter and Scroll. The 2 specific ones of that, like Hatter and Send It and Scroll Reborn. Those are much cheaper to get, and they're just kind of in Soulforge lying around. Neither of them are too good. The one of them's kind of like a decent mythic that's similar to another mythic, the Lord of Slaughter, with the Doom Skull spam. But aside from that, there's really only 2 real boss rarity troops, and a Zugoff and a Rage Karandera. Zugoff's what we're using now, and is probably the only boss rarity troop that feels like a boss rarity troop. It is a very commonly used skull spam option that is insanely good. It is a triple damage, well, it's normally used with triple damage burning teams like this one, because it burns all enemies, has insta-kill on it, ends up creating some skulls, and if you happen to miss, it also has freeze, so you also end up ending the enemy's turn because they're frozen. So overall, it's a pretty solid option, and probably the only thing that actually feels like a boss rarity troop. The main thing that makes it rare is it requires 8 power orbs, which you can end up crafting from various other orbs within the game that you get from various game modes. Pretty much, if you just participate in most of the content within the game, you're slowly going to get them over time. And things like Vault event weekends, like the weekend, next weekend, not this weekend, but a week from now, or technically 5 days from now, next Friday, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is the best time to be farming for any Vault weekend. It's technically possible to get an entire Zugoff in one single weekend, though realistically it'll probably take a couple Vault weekends to farm enough resources to get them. But yeah, it's basically one of the harder to, well, maybe not the hardest, but definitely among one of the harder to obtain troops within the game. Though it's definitely possible to do within a weekend, so not too hard. Just need to get a bunch of orbs, which are easier than ever to get in the current state of the game. As far as the red border weapons, which we're not using right now either, but those weapons are mostly from the Tower of Doom game mode. It's a new mode that was added a couple years ago, and I can't remember when we get the next one. Well, it normally happens these days between seasons. So we now have a season system. We're in Season 9 right now. We're halfway through Season 9. And in between the seasons, we actually get a Tower of Doom event, which is basically a guild-wide event that you participate in with your guild. It requires the most amount of communication of any guild event in the entire game. And basically you play through it and you get a bunch of resources to upgrade those Doom weapons. It's a pretty limited resource. I really wish they would make a little bit more accessible. They did with one patch several months ago, but it didn't really do too much to improve on it. So hopefully they'll look into it more. Yeah, and Rage Karandera is the other boss rarity troop that isn't Zugoff. It's a lot weaker. Normal Karandera is kind of better than it, so there's almost no point to go for Enraged Karandera. Or at least it's not high priority. You definitely want to get Zugoff first, that's for sure. Like, that's not even within the question. Like, between, like, Enraged Karandera and Zugoff, like, Zugoff's the only option. He's pretty much the only boss troop that feels like a boss troop. Despite there being 4 of them. An entire weapon typing. Though the Doom weapons that do AoE damage, you know, like damage to all enemies, combined with the Doom Skull Convert, those are actually good. But every other Doom weapon seems kind of underwhelming. The only other one that's also kind of broken are the books, but the books are only defensively good. You'll know what I mean if you ever play like Guild Wars. Actually, we have Guild Wars next week, because it's a very common weapon type in Guild Wars. However, it's not really used in any other location. But if you haven't played Guild Wars for a while, good luck. The meta has developed into the craziest thing you have probably ever seen. I'm not sure what bracket you would be in with your guild, though, if you have rejoined a guild after coming back. But, yeah, Guild Wars is kind of crazy. I'll be doing that every night next week, except for Monday. Monday we'll be messing with the Actually, what event do we have? Oh yeah, we literally went over. It's just a ward event. Standard ward event. Yeah, Hatcher and Scroll Reborn are the other two. One of them is basically like Enraged Carindera, the other one's basically useless, the one that does Lycanthropy. Lycanthropy is such a bad mechanic. Actually, it was probably the worst mechanic that they added since the power gems. Like, there's a new mechanic now over the last, like, year and a half where we've been getting power gems in various seasons. And they're basically alternative gems that do other things other than just, you know, the standard stuff. And the one this season is pretty useless. However, the one that was added in the very first season that they started doing them, which wasn't the very first season ever, but, you know, this first season where they started doing the power gems, it was, like, really absurdly annoying. Because you have to constantly deal with your troops randomly becoming beasts out of nowhere, which was very detrimental for basically every team in existence. SC somehow had like 4 times immune. Oh yeah, they added a lot. I've been meaning to do a video. I keep saying this like almost every week because there's always at least one person who stops by to stream who's like, hey, I haven't played for like a year or a couple years. What changed? And then I say like a gigantic wall of things. Oh no, I feel like most of it's manageable. I should really make a video on it at some point. I've been meaning to for ages. There's just a lot of things to cover. Because some people have been out away for different amounts of time. And obviously things that have changed over the last like 3-4 years is a lot different than things that have changed over the last like 1 or 2 years. But yeah, this game definitely changes a decent amount per year. They even actually already released a whole roadmap for the year as well. It's the first time they ever released a roadmap, which is kind of cool. So we pretty much already know most of what's happening this year. Not to the exact degree, because we only really know like the title of every single one of the updates. But one thing we already know is the next update is going to be a faction update. So factions are going to be updated and probably some quality of life, probably improvements to various areas in it. I believe they might be adding some troops. Might be getting like a whole additional troop or 2 per faction or something similar. So that's pretty cool. Finally got your first power orb last night. Nice. 7 to go. Congrats. Well, if nothing else, farm this vault weekend. Not this week. Oh, you know, next weekend is vault weekend. But make sure to grind on that because you can get a lot of progress on that. I haven't been grinding them as much, but even with how little I grind, I'm pretty sure we still get at least like a power orb of grind every vault event. You can easily get way more than that. Because we already have so many resources, I don't tend to like overlay power grind. But those vault keys definitely give a lot of value. What do we need to rotate the skull? We're good to go. Hello, Barbara. Welcome, welcome. Hope all has been well. Hello, John, if I didn't already say hi. Who else did I say hello to? Hello, Tyrion. Hey, how did the hunt go today? Hello, Clipbomb. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we were playing some, like, alternative Pokemon game. I've never actually bothered playing any of those before. And, it was decently fun. I feel like we're only, like, 1/3 way through the game. And, from what I actually heard, because I went into a little bit of info on the game, that I looked up, actually, between the 2 streams. Because I tried to, be as, like, spoiler-free going in. But I did look up a few things between the streams just out of interest. Like, more so the shiny rate and a few other things like that. But, one thing I found out is, the game actually doesn't have too much post-game content. I didn't see any storyline spoilers. But, I did end up finding out that the game doesn't have too much post-game content. But, I was mostly planning on, streaming the main storyline anyways. But they will be adding it in a free update. It just hasn't really been added yet. Can you explain the current team you're using? When do you use Cast Flamerefer? So casting Flamerefer is, hero weapon on this team is actually really flexible. Like, normally when you hear people suggest a different team, it's almost always going to be a different weapon. Well, I mean, not always, but, like, most different variants of this team would be running a different weapon than what we're running. You tend to only cast Flamerefer if you need, if you can't get... Well, this is basically a priority order. When you first start off the battle, if you can't take a 4 times or 5 times purple, you want to cast Leprechaun. After you cast Leprechaun, you ideally want to cast Thrall. If you don't have Thrall, you cast Flamerefer. And that is pretty much the order of how things go. Thrall is highest priority if you need mana. Flamerefer is second highest priority. And Leprechaun is always Lowest priority, however, generally the one you cast first, because he has Empower. Because Leprechaun has the lowest chance to extra turn. Flamer for the second highest, and the absolute high. Well, Thrall doesn't have a super high chance to extra turn, but you know for sure if there's 13 plus red on the board, that he will extra turn. So even though you might not know when you have less than 13 plus red, when there is 13 plus red, there's a 100% chance Thrall will extra turn for you, assuming he's not frozen, which in this kingdom is impossible to happen. Right here, we also could have taken purple there if we wanted to. Now, one other nice thing about Flamer is it does give 1 extra mana to all other allies, which can end up topping off one of them. Like we just got for our troop right there. Like right here, we definitely want a Flamer. That or actually, we could have just taken the 5 times red actually. Because even though Thrall's more mana accumulation, it's a little bit quicker to just do Flamer if you know for sure you're pretty much going to get an extra turn from the board. And right there, we know for sure we're going to get a Thrall extra turn because it's 13 plus red. You obviously could still cast him when there's not 13 plus red, but that's one nice thing that I like about the Flamer synergy. Or Flame of Fire. I still have no clue how you're supposed to say this. It looks like Flamer. I always said Flame of Fire, though I'm pretty sure that's adding, like, vowels that aren't there. Flame of Fire sounds like a cooler name, though. Flame of Fire definitely sounds cooler. So there's going to be a weird situation where we have no mana whatsoever. In which case, we're mostly looking for purple mana. In which case there's none, so we'll go for Flame of Fire, I guess. Because if you're out of mana, purple's definitely your highest priority to take from the board with this team. Mostly because one single purple is generally going to be full mana Thrall. And by generally, I mean guaranteed, because I believe the amount of purple setup I have right now is actually 100% chance that you will have full mana from taking a purple. Even if he has 0 mana. Which is very unlikely for him to have 0 mana, but even if he did, I'm pretty sure we still hit full mana with this team. Because we're on +3 red right now. I mean, +3 purple, I mean. Oh no, I thought that was 13 red, it was only 12. Luckily, you can still extra turn from Thrall even when he doesn't hit it. Like, that was a 12 red board. But we could still get... Hey, we found a Mimic! Got him! There we go. But you can still get extra turn from him, obviously, even without 13 plus red. Because you can still cascade it from the board. Also, hello, Genki! Hope all's been well. Okay, let's go get our Mimic. Come on, let's go if we get our 5 times. Maybe it was a day late. Maybe we just wanted to be on a day delay. And give us it tonight instead of tomorrow. I mean, last night, I mean. Come on, what do we got? What do we get? 5 times. See you to 5 times. That is not a 5 times. That is not a good loot. That is like the most average thing we could have gotten. Oh well, we got one though. We got one. Let's go into the code. We got a chest. Not the chest we're really looking for, but it's better than nothing. 1 second. I'm trying to find, where is my Mimic counter? There it is. It's hiding on me. There we go. 57. Okay, let me go hand out a code. We did indeed end up reaching a... Oh no, the last code! Hopefully we'll get more from Kafka soon. We handed out so many yesterday for the 6-year anniversary of the channel that, that's the last one. Oh no. But hopefully we'll have more soon. I've been spamming her every day, so eventually she will answer. Let's see. Here you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsawar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath the settings menu. Whatever game says right over there is what you put in for your invite code. Redeem code's right over there in chats. Copy paste the random numbers and letters started with PD. And it gives the same word as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Why on earth did it not get claimed? Wait, is this an old one? This better not be an old one. Wait, why is it not in my mail? Does the code work? Did anyone else claim the code? I'm pretty sure it just worked for me. I'm not sure why it's not doing the thing. Let's see. If it is an old code, I don't have any more left, so let's hope it works. Oh no, it worked. I just didn't claim it for myself properly. That's weird. Yeah, it does work. That's good. I'm not sure what happened there, but it is claimed now. There we go. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Anyways, let's keep farming. Actually, let me go clear out the dailies. I still haven't done that yet. There's not really much to clear out. I don't need to clear out any of those, but definitely want to go grab those diamonds. Don't want to forget that. You can get a lot of diamonds. You get 70 from here, and of course the other 80 for the 50 gems you put there, which is always worth it. On the normal day, it's questionable if you want it or not. Like, it's okay value if you do or do not go for it. However, on every Sunday, you always want to throw 50 gems for the extra 80 diamonds with all the other loot it gives, because you get a free celestial from it. You get 2 gem keys, and just the diamonds alone is already worth it. Like 80 diamonds for only 50 gems is really good value. Like, I don't even need diamonds anymore, and I still go for it. It's that good of value. Hey, look, a fake boss troop. I know, right? Yeah, it's 150 total gems on one single day. It's really nice. Obviously, there are other ways to get diamonds as well, but it's the most diamonds you pretty much get in such a quick amount of time. Because if you count these 3 battles plus clicking this, it takes like a, what, 1 minute, 2 minutes for 150 diamonds. It's technically more than that, because it gives you 400 shards, which is 4, and then these shards, which is 7. So technically you're getting 87 diamonds in like a minute or 2. Obviously you can only do that once every Sunday, that whole amount. However, it's really a high amount. Like the amount that you get for such a short period of time. Basically at max, it's like 87 diamonds in 2 minutes, which is pretty solid. Is Dawnbringer even viable anymore? Yes. Well, kind of. It's definitely fallen off a bit. However, its main purpose is Thursday class events. It's pretty decent for Thursday class events. It's probably the only thing I use it for in the current state of the game. Other than like the very, 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 very rare team competition. Or if you have like a weird restriction where you kind of need it. Also, I feel like Red Guild War can sometimes still get away with it as well. But, Thursday class events probably its main purpose, I would say, in the current state of the game. Is it worth going out of your way to get it just for that purpose? Probably not. But, I don't know. They're like 95% of class events, I feel like I run Dawnbringer. And while class events have some of the worst payout of any event, still doing the free battles with it still helps speed it up compared to other options. Yeah, it's like the only thing I use Dawnbringer for these days. The free battles for the Thursday class event. But it's definitely seen better days. It's not a bad weapon, but it's definitely one that's kind of fallen off the meta over time. Mostly because the mana accumulating weapons are almost always the better choice, especially with how much more diverse the mana accumulating weapons are compared to a couple years back. Like, there's a lot more options. Like, back in the day, you had, like, what, Mountain Crusher. It was, like, revolutionary when Essence of Evil came out, and, like, a few others. But now, you have, like, dozens upon dozens. Like, you're not choosing from a few. You're choosing from little, like, pages of weapons now that you could be using, as far as good mana accumulating weapons. Oh, he ruined it, so I can't take it now. You use Dawnbringer as the second troop in your Phoenicia team. Yes, you can end up doing that. Oh, interesting. Using Hero in second slot? Yeah, that works. In that team, I normally use Hero in first slot and just don't block the Phoenicia. But yeah, you can do the inverse, where your Phoenicia blocks your weapon. Because I would still make sure that Phoenicia doesn't get blocked. That's interesting. I normally do it the other way around, but I guess in that particular team you can do it inversely. You can't do that with Rowan build, because obviously Rowan can't go in first, but for Phoenicia it actually doesn't matter if she's in first or not. Hero's normally going to be a little bit tankier, but most things that Phoenicia's ran for. Your first slot's not really in much of a threat. Which means even if you're running Phoenicia yourself there, it normally would not die. If ever. He's technically Hero's tankier than Phoenicia for a first slot. But most of the battles where you're running it anyways, that's not really a threat of it dying. Because most things that Phoenicia's ran for, she either one-shots or two-shots the entire battle. Or one-shots it with a weapon. At the range where you're capable of doing that, you're generally never actually losing your troops. $1,800 trophies, 2 million gold. Oh, never mind, that's your requirement for your guild. Oh, you're trying to get some recruitments, nice. Hope we find someone. Yeah, I don't mind people recruiting in the chat. If you ever want to for your guild or anything. If anything else, it helps with YouTube algorithms. Plus, there's probably someone here who might be looking for a guild. You never know. Not sure what that ratio of people would generally be. Because I'm pretty sure if we pulled it right now, I'm pretty sure like 90% of people in chat are in a guild, if not already. Unless someone's looking to move. And that reminds me, I didn't pull anything. Oh yeah, you know why I wanted to pull? I know exactly why I wanted to pull. I mentioned that at the beginning of the Bounty Hunter week on Friday. And I actually wanted to pull that tonight. How many times have you guys died? Or, let me see, how did I word this question? Have you lost to the Bounty Hunter level 20 battle? It is level 20, right? This weekend. Yes. No. No, but lost Valraven. How do you spell Valraven? Valraven, I think that's correct. Yes, no. No, but lost Valraven. Let's see. Which, that should technically be the second vote, shouldn't it? That should be the middle vote. Yes, no, but lost Valraven, and no. Have you lost to the Bounty Hunter level 20 battle this weekend? It is level 20, right? I'm pretty sure that's where it falls. Pretty sure that's correct. There we go. I think I spelled that right. Okay, there we go. It should be fine. Oh yeah, John posted into chat. I'm pretty sure I spelled it the same way. Because I'm kind of curious if anyone's like 4 times wiped on it. Like if there's any bounty week that's going to happen, like it's going to be this week. Kind of curious if anyone has. Like I don't feel like it's going to be too high a number, but I'm kind of curious what the number would be. Because it's definitely possible. Like getting 4 times wiped by that thing is very exceedingly much possible. Because of that whole devour mechanic. Like if you get unlucky, like if he double devours you, you're dead. Like it's pretty much over. Unless you have a devour mechanic yourself or something. Which I'm pretty sure most people aren't running. Though you could if you wanted to, but it'd be slower to run devour. So I'm pretty sure most people are choosing not to. Because I know we went down to Takaraki with the other true damage route. Also, I almost lost a Valraven. I didn't actually lose Valraven though, but we got close to it. We had 1 Valraven cast for a 30% roll because I accidentally went for the Valraven before I went. Or no, I went for the Devour troop before the Valraven, and that led to it almost escaping once. Which caused me to... Hey, we got another Mimic already, nice. Which caused me to start going for it like every single time, going for the Valraven first. Yeah, that Devour Spider is vicious. I think that's the first bounty hunter we ever had to face against it, and his percent isn't high, but when he gets it, it is so devastating. I'm so glad I did not get double devoured by him, because we probably would have had a 4 times wipe on stream, but luckily we didn't have it happen. He did devour us a few times, but never did he wipe us from that. Why did I do that? I already had the win condition. Whoops. All right, come on, 5 times chess. Come on. Ah, no, standard. Oh, well, at least we got 2. Oh, we got 4 Rania. Okay, that's not bad. It's not like exceedingly good, but it's not bad. I'll take it. Ah, let's see. Maybe we'll get 3 Mimics this hour. Not bad at all. So we got 2 so far. Need another 5x chest though. It's out there somewhere. Might need to go on that power grind this weekend as well as the vault weekends. If there's any weekend to also grind as much as we did this weekend, it would be for the vault weekend next weekend. What are the percent chance that you get a mimic chest? Last I recall, it is a 10% chance you get a 2x chest. After taking a 2x chest and then claiming it, there's a 10% chance that 2x chest will be a 5x chest. And then after that, supposedly there's a 20% chance in that 5x chest that you'll get the Horde Mimic. My data have shown closer to 10%, though other data show closer to 20%. So I'm actually not sure what that one is. But a lot of other people's data seems to show 20%. Though it definitely doesn't feel like 20%. But it's basically a 10% roll, a 10% roll, and then a 20% roll, supposedly. That are 3 10%s, I'm not sure. We have a 10% for the 2x, a 10% for the 5x, from the 2x, or it goes to 2x, then to 5x, and then in the 5x, there's either a 10% or a 20% chance you'll get the Horde Mimic. Though there's some people who are at like 20-something rolls and still don't have it. We're currently at 6 without it, which isn't that bad yet. If it is 20%, we're currently below or above odds, unfortunately. But not that far above odds. Though if it is closer to 10%, then we actually haven't hit the full odds yet. Well, it won't let me move it. There we go. That was weird. It wouldn't let me move it to the side. Have you gotten a 5x with Anisha yet? Yes, we have. I think it was our second or third chest. But yes, we have gotten a 5x Nisha before. It was a 5x Nisha, a 5x Urania with a 5x guard, I believe it was. But yes, we have gotten 2x multiple times, and 5x once for Nisha. I don't think we got 5x Anu though, oddly enough. I have gotten 5x Nisha before. Which is even better than 5x Anu. Actually, that was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Actually, that was more recent than I thought. But yeah, we have hit it before. Just haven't found the troop itself, which is kind of funny. Because if I'm not mistaken, it is actually rarer to hit a 5x Nisha from a 5x chest than it is to hit the Horde Mimic. Like that Horde Mimic Mythic. It is actually rarer to get a 5x Nisha. Because I believe Nisha chance on that is like, what, like 3 1%-ish rolls? Whereas the other thing's either a 10% or a 20% roll. Once. Meaning that even if it is a 10%, that means it is still more likely that you will get the Horde Mimic than a 5x Nisha. So we got the one that was rarer. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily the one we wanted. The Nishas are still nice. But it is rarer to get 5x Nisha than the Horde Mimic. And we got the 5x Nisha drop, but not the Horde Mimic yet. What do we need here? We'll try that and see if we get lucky. Hey, we got lucky. Unfortunately, that's not all the mana I need. So it's a 1 in 500 chance to get a Horde Mimic from a Mythic boss chest. If you're counting like the chest all the way at the end, yeah, it's somewhere around there. Because one thing I don't track, the 2 numbers I track are 2x chests and 5x chests. However, one thing I don't track is total of chests we've clicked on. Whereas that number is close to around 600 right now. The number of chests we've clicked on. It's not a number I track because we cycle through it pretty quickly. But it is somewhere around 600 to 700. I just don't keep track of the exact number. Because every roll starts from clicking on this chest right here. So you could technically track the number of times you click on this. Of which we've done probably roughly 700 times since the patch where he was available. The Mimic stuff. Since we've been tracking. But I don't specifically track that number. Though it is one you technically could track if you really want to. You just have to keep the updated a lot more commonly. Because you're finding them 10 times as more often as you're finding 2x chests. Because they're pretty much guaranteed. Because all you have to do is get 100 shards and you get one. Like there's no luck factor in the initial roll. Because you always get one, assuming you complete out the battle without losing. whereas 2 times is the lowest chest where it's luck based, which is why I keep track of it. The data on the forum was tracking all chests, was it? Interesting. I shouldn't really change the data, though. Because the chests that we track are all the RNG chests. Like, I don't track the non-RNG chest, like the one that's guaranteed to you. We probably could if we really want to. I don't actually keep track of that data point. Too bad it's not something in-game that tracks it for you. Like, one thing that's nice about Vault Event is you can kind of just use your Vault totals as your tracker. So you can keep track of what your Vault key total was at the beginning of a Vault weekend, both your normal Vault keys and your Epic Vault keys. And then at the end of the weekend, you'll know exactly how many you got. One other way that you can do it is you can reverse engineer it from how many pity you have. So you can determine how much pity you have to determine approximately how much loot you got, even if you don't keep track of anything at all. As long as you just don't claim your pity keys, which is another great way to keep track of it. You kind of want to spend your gems for a mythic. The only way that you can kind of convert gems to mythic is by buying gem keys or VIP keys. If you have access to VIP keys, I is highly advised doing VIP keys. VIP keys have the best rate of converting gems to mythics. They actually got buffed about a year or 2 ago as well, and they're even better for doing it now than ever. Before it was like a 5 times margin, I think, increase. I think it's even more now, almost like a 10 times. Like, it is substantially better than what it was, because they increased the chance of getting a mythic from a 1% to a 1.66% or something, while still keeping the cost exactly the same. Yeah, they buffed that around a year or so ago. I can't remember exactly when. It's been about a year or 2 by now. But yeah, it's always been the best value if you have access to VIP keys, which just require you to spend, I believe, $130 on the game, unfortunately. If you haven't already. Hey, it is annual. They're definitely not required, but if you do have access to VIP keys, it is the best gem to mythic conversion in the game, is to use them for VIP keys. You do have to specifically do them in 50 bulks, though, which means you need, what, 2,250 gems? That's not too bad to accumulate, though. It can take a little while, though. But Tribute gets a lot of gems these days. Like, I know my average Tribute's way above 20. I think it's like 22 or 23 these days. So if we took that like 10 times a day, that's already over 200 gems. I don't feel like I take it that often, though. I used to take it a lot more often than I do now. Which is how some people have like over 100,000 gems. Because they take it at least 3 times more than we do, that's for sure. Because that's pretty much the main way gems come into the game, I would say, in the current state of the game. Like, from Tribute. Like, obviously there are a few other things, like your dailies, the guild, all that. But, I feel like the average person gets roughly, I want to say, 70% of their gems from Tribute. Like a solid 2/3, if not more. Specifically just from Tribute. Which hopefully they'll never nerf Tribute. Because it's actually one of the things that makes this game like free-to-play friendly, is the fact that Kingdom Tributes even exist. I'm actually really surprised they have never nerfed them. They've actually buffed it. And technically, as content keeps being added to the game, it only keeps getting higher and higher. But they have never actually nerfed Tribute, and I hope they never do. Because it's the main thing that actually makes this game so free-to-play friendly. Is the fact Tribute even exists. Is there any good 2 Zugov teams? I've been suggested multiple, and I personally do not like a single double Zugov team. I don't feel like it's worth it personally. I've tried at least like a dozen or 2, and I have not found a single double Zugov team I feel like is worth it compared to single Zugov. Like, they definitely work, and they can be pretty similar speeds. I just don't feel like it's worth the effort, and definitely not worth the cost if you have to go out of your way for it to get a second one. Like, it's pretty bad value. It's pretty funny with Centurion, though. I'm also not a fan of Centurion teams, so that might also be contributing to it. Though it did seem like it was one of the stronger builds, though. Like Hero Weapon or some other mana accumulation source, Centurion with double... Hey, Anisha! With double Zugov. Like, something like that's actually pretty solid. I still prefer single Zugov, though. Yeah, Centurion's the most potent one I've seen so far. The Flask one was okay. The Centurion one definitely seemed like the strongest. Like, if you're running double Zugov, I feel like you have to go down the Centurion route. Which is probably why I don't like double Zugov. I do like Flask teams, though. I feel like I don't use Flask as much compared to how much I like the weapon. It's a really weird weapon to use, but in a fun way weird. Not in like annoying way weird. I just tend to not use it that often. Though it's arguably, I would say, the best season weapon we've ever gotten was Celestial Flask. To this day, I don't think we've gotten a single one even like remotely close to how strong that thing is. Like, the average weapon that we get from a season pass seems pitiful and compared to Flask. It's just that good. I'm not sure if I would consider a top 10, though. It's pretty high up there. I would definitely consider a top 20. Not sure if it would reach top 10, though, for, like, best weapon in the game. It's definitely the best way to apply potions, that's for sure. Like, if you want to run potions, it's, like, the only mechanic that's really worthwhile. Also due to its extra turn potential. It can also feed mana back into itself, which is huge. Not all the time, but like 2/5 of the time. And even if he's not feeding back to himself, he's normally feeding mana into something that will feed back into him. I'm not sure why I didn't take the skull, but I'll take it, thank you. Easy kill. Oh, why did that go? There we go. Yeah, trying it with Fairy Godmother could be interesting. Because you can full mana it and then be good to go. I feel like Fairy Godmother's a little bit weird to get rolling, though. Like, you have to depend on that 50% chance per turn to get it rolling. And what if you go, like, 3 or 4 turns without it? Like, obviously that's not common, but it's definitely very possible to go multiple turns without her triggering her Wish Gem. Like, the amount of luck you have to deal with is just too much. Like, I'm pretty sure I can get some ultra quick wins. But some of its slow wins are going to be so slow. Due to her high inconsistency. There's also no room to run in power on a team like her. Unless you kind of want to go down the Leprechaun route. Yeah, it's definitely fun. Honestly, I feel like some of the funnest teams in the game right now does use Fairy Godmother. It's such a gimmicky troop that when it works so ridiculously good. The problem is when it doesn't. And I generally like the high consistency personally. Like, she's a troop when it works, it is so devastating. Because she can literally just full mana any team in existence. Very quickly. Regardless of how high their mana cost is. Because the issue with a lot of other mana accumulators is it does matter what their mana cost is. Like even Thrall, despite how good it is, the most he's going to give you, unless you get a lucky cascade, is around 64 mana. Whereas she can give you as much as 4 whole troops mana costs. So somewhere's around like what, 80, 90? I guess actually you could do up to almost like 110 if it was like 2 Zugofs and something else that was high. Like she can do like 100 mana in a single go. And still get an extra turn. Do I recommend using shards for diamonds only? Yes. Generally speaking, at least in the current state of the game, and how it's pretty much always been, shards should only ever be used for diamonds. The only reason I don't convert my shards is in case they ever add a new mechanic for it. So you might notice I'm sitting on like probably like 1 million or 2 million shards or something absurd. But the only reason I don't spend my shards is not because they're not good value. They're really good value for diamonds and only diamonds. But the reason I save them is in case they add a new mechanic where we need shards. This has happened to Rits, so it's not unheard of that it could happen to diamonds. I mean, that it could happen to shards, I mean. Because Rits are now used for... what were they used for? I actually can't remember. Oh yeah, they were used for the Forge Scrolls. Those like Doom Forge Scroll things. It's still not really that worth going for them. But it's one of the only alternative ways that you can actually get them. And by one of the only, I mean the only alternative way that you can actually end up getting them. And that was like one of those resources that got an additional purpose. So that's why I kind of hoard onto the other thing as well. Because you never know if they might have additional purpose. But yeah, if you're just looking to upgrade stuff and you need them in a pinch for a mythic, I would highly advise converting every single one of these into diamonds, as this is the only thing worth doing, which you could do over here and convert them all into diamonds. But the only reason I have 1.5 million is in case they get another purpose. Because Rits was one of those that I also held on to a little bit in case that ever happens. Because of course Rits, the main purpose for Rits were to create deeds, particularly Imperial deeds. So you can end up creating a bunch of Imperial of them. However, they did end up getting a new purpose as of the 6.1 patch, 2 patches ago, or 2 major patches ago, where you can now use them to create Forge Scrolls. So instead of crafting them into Imperials, you can now craft them into Forge. And like right here is enough to go max out one single Doom weapon. Just by doing that, boom, we just click craft and have a Doom weapon max. But yeah, they got additional purpose. This hasn't happened yet to jewels, to any of these resources. However, it could. But at the moment, diamonds is definitely the best way to use them, if you're going to use them right now. But similar to Rits, they might get a purpose in the future, though that is very luck based on if they will or will not. But yes, you should pretty much just spend them straight into diamonds. Unless you want to gamble the RNG of maybe them adding some purpose to them in the future. Which did happen to Rits, but that doesn't mean it will happen to shards necessarily, but you never know. But if you ever wonder why I don't use those, that is the main reason why. Like, they're really good value for diamonds, but I have so many diamonds I just hoard them in case they ever get additional purposes. You use Godmother for all her colors last Guild War. Super fun. Backfire twice. Yeah. Godmother, I would highly advise doing an only player versus, or you know, non-player composed teams. Because when she backfires, if you do it on a PvP team, or you know, against a PvP team, you're dead. Like, you're pretty much insta-dead. Like, the amount of good PvP compositions out there, particularly in Guild War, like next week, if you do it during Guild Wars, like your team will get destroyed absurdly quick if the entire enemy team had full mana. Like, you can get away with it in Explore 12, and you can get away with it in factions and stuff like that because the enemy team composition is way worse than what you would normally face against a natural player, or you know, a player composed team. But yeah, I would highly advise never using it in Guild Wars. Like, you could, but it just takes one unlucky play for you to just like auto lose, which is very risky for Guild Wars. Because losing even once is worse than getting bad score across 5 wins. Because bad score across 5 wins is like 9,000 points. If you lose once, the best you're getting is like 8,000 or so. You're getting 1,000 whole less points. This is one of the reasons I've kind of stopped caring about if a team goes like super high score. Like I haven't been trying to hit for like 9,500, 9,600, or even the elusive 9,700 lately. Mostly because if we can just have higher consistency with hitting low 9,000, then it's better than if we were to lose once with an 8,000 score. And that's assuming you even get that high, because you can lose once to get as low as like 7,500 or so. 8,000 is just the higher number that you can end up getting if you get lucky. I believe one loss can get as high as about 8,100, 8,200, though normally it's around like 8,000, give or take 100. Yeah, does anyone else have any other questions or anyone want me to go over? Do let me know. Because I think after we get this next chest, we might call it a night. So we did pretty good tonight. We got 2 Mimics. We got a Nisha. We got 2 Anners. Like, we just got some pretty good loot. Unfortunately, no Horde Mimic, though we kind of expect at this point most streams will not be. But at some point we'll end up getting one. It's only a matter of time. Though it's somewhat disheartening to hear people who have like 20, almost 30 like attempts, and they still don't have it. And we're only at 6. To think, I'm not sure what it would be like if we went all the way to like 20 something and still didn't have it. That'd be insane. That'd be super, super unlucky. Ah, lucky little cascade there, nice. Actually, I think that was invisible sight though, so that wasn't really lucky. That's just me not noticing it. There's something else we need to worry about with Guild Wars. You gotta play a little bit slower so you actually do see stuff like that. Because it's really important to land in Guild Wars, like a big cascade like that. Especially when it's invisible sight. Obviously, you have to make some predictive work when it's not invisible sight, see if it's worth it or not. But if it's completely invisible sight, you definitely want to make sure you check it. Hey, we got an Arania there. Not a bad one to end on. How do you counteract Impervious? Impervious can be cursed. So you can curse stun Impervious and then they don't have Impervious anymore. So just curse alone actually gets rid of Impervious. But curse plus stun not only gets rid of Impervious, but all their traits. But curse gets rid of all immunities. The only immunity that you can't get rid of is that indestructible trait thing. That's only on a few troops, like the tower, the Onus Tower, and Enraged Carandera, and like a very few others end up having that indestructible trait. But there's very few player-owned options that do. So generally, if you see like a double Impervious on the opposing team, all you have to do is use a curse option. So something like normal Carandera can end up working out pretty well. Mirage Queen is a really good option, 4 times curse. There's a few weapons that can end up 4 times cursing, like Fiend Fire from 250 wins on, what was it, Diabolus class? And a few others like that. Streaming question. When you rewatch a Tacit stream, your chat replays, but not when I rewatch Genki's. Is there a setting for that? Yes, Genki doesn't have the setting set. There's a checkbox when you make a stream where you can say, do you want your stream chat to show up after the fact? You have to make sure it's checked. I believe it does default to that, though I'm not sure if I went in my channel to make sure it always defaulted to that, because I know all my, like, I don't normally change that. I don't believe that field. So my channels does default to it, but I believe you have to do something in the back end to make it default that you might not have done yet. But yeah, there's specifically a checkbox you have to make sure is checked that if it is checked, we'll make sure that the stream replay will play after the fact. There's a glitch that occasionally causes it not to happen, even if you do have it checked. However, more often than not, as long as you have it checked, it should show up on your thing. But I don't recall having to like manually click it. There are a few things I have to manually click, like monetization and a few other things like that, that I make sure to check. And to make sure it shows all chat instead of just live chat, which are actually two different things for whatever reason. But yeah, it's just another one of those checkboxes. But if I'm not mistaken, that's one that is, at least on my end, defaultly checked. I'm not sure if I did something on the back end a while back to cause it. But yeah, you do have to make sure it's checked. Let's see, what's the invisible sites? Wait, what do you mean by that? What's invisible sites? I'm not sure what your question is, unless I misspoke on something. Let's see. Yep, no problem. Any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, we will be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. We'll mostly be going over all of the Chapter 5 tasks. You said it about Guild Wars? Invisible site? I think I was talking about invincibility, or invulnerable. But there's that invulnerable trait where you have that immune to everything. That is immune to curse. Oh, you mean, I was talking about anything out of sight. So for example, when you do like a cascade, there are in-sight cascades and outside of sight cascades. So for example, you can chain something that's completely visible on the board. That might just be hard to notice, where you like cascade one thing into another, and then it leads to an extra turn. But all the pieces that were on the board are visible. When I say out of sight or invisible, I mean like from the sky, where you can't like see one of them. Like for example, if you do like a vertical 3 to try to get a single 1 into a 4 spot and stuff like that. Like those are out of sight cascades. Like ones that are just luck based that you can't predict. However, the insight ones are the ones where like it's visible on the board and you just have to notice them, like some kind of chain reaction, where every single thing within the chain reaction is 100% visible, meaning you know before you take it that there's a 100% chance that it will occur based on how the gems will move. But whenever they're out of sight, it's based on sky gems, which you have to gamble for them occasionally. Oh gosh, Tarian, you have so many power gems. That was after you spent 8 as well the other week, like you mentioned. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by. See you guys soon. And yeah, Guild War next week. So we'll do game plan for next week is Monday night. Of course, we'll be going over chapter tasks. And then the rest of the week we'll be doing Guild Wars. We should also have a video on some tier lists for some classes. If any of you saw the big long stream, we kind of covered it slightly then. But I definitely want to go do that this week. And aside from that, as far as midday streams, we're going to be finishing out that Koromon gameplay, which is basically like a pixel-style, indie kind of style version of Pokemon, which has been pretty fun. It's also free to play on mobile, by the way. So if any of you are mobile players, you can actually play that. It's not a Switch exclusive. It is on Switch, and it's on PC as well. I'm playing the PC version. But it's also free to play on mobile. I'm not sure how microtransaction heavy it is, but because I'm playing the pay once version on Steam. However, it is free to play on mobile if you want to try it out. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Not sponsored or anything, I'm just mentioning it. But anyways, catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.